we should be live right now.
Okay.
All right. So, welcome everyone. My name is Stacy, as you already know, and I am the graduate assistant for the Nonprofit Leadership Master's Program at Penn. And with me today is a very special guest. She is a 2019 alumna, and she is also a member of the Alumni Association with NPL. And this is Sharmila Pal. So, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks, Stacy, for having me. It's really a great opportunity. Thanks for putting this together.
Yeah, of course. So to start off our conversations, could you just start off with what brought you to the nonprofit, uh, le- the master's program back in 2018? What was your thought process, and kind
Mhm.
of what were the factors leading you to join the program?
Yeah, that's quite a story. But I guess in one sentence, it would be my desire and passion to do community development work in a bold way and create meaningful, long-lasting impact that truly changes the trajectory of a child's life and brings them out of generational poverty. So my initial career background had absolutely nothing to do with community development or nonprofit. My background was in chemistry and oceanography. I was an academic working in a lab doing marine research, going on international ocean expeditions. I was going out to like pretty much every single ocean there is, including the two polar oceans, and spent, I think it was like 256 days at sea, and all that was great. But as I drew close to the completion of my first dissertation, I felt that some piece was missing in the puzzle of life. I wanted
Mm,
to apply my skills and strengths to do work that actually had tangible impact and meant something. Yes, my research was on climate change, but it just felt um, far removed from any immediate impact that I was making. So after graduation from my first master's, I decided to just kind of take off, right? And I went to India and walked the Indian Himalayas solo to with only one purpose. It was to find life's meaning. So, and the Himalayas are just incredible and just life altering experience, as you're crossing really high mountain passes, like 5,000-meter high mountain passes, and come across this vast open meadows on the Tibetan plateau. And I stayed with nomadic villages that are like unknown to the world, and intimately saw this fierce beauty and of nature, and also the harsh realities of life, right? Because it was amidst this fierce beauty and power of the Himalayas that lay the vulnerability of children due to severe lack of resources and basic necessities. I saw how much people struggled to get the most basic resources and access to education and access to achieve your dreams and aspirations. And it took me a pursuit of 3 years to realize that selfless service is the meaning of life. So it was in 2014 when I joined Amrita-Seattle to serve children who were living in utmost rural, isolated parts of India in the Himalayas. I was the program officer for 6 years, and it was over this period of time when I was doing community work that I saw deeply how true community development work is extremely raw, difficult, emotionally challenging, and deeply human and organic. Often what we see on media is a very oversimplified narrative of poverty, but in reality, it's not. It's highly individualized, takes a lot of time, dedication, and and sticking with the child every day of their life. It's what any parent would do. And it's not about one-off intervention that a lot of nonprofits and NGOs end up doing. And that's what ultimately I wanted to do at Amrita-Seattle, is to give children a healthy and stable childhood with everything that they need and deserve, so that they can grow up to become independent, empowered adults who have truly come out of generational poverty. So I wanted to take Amrita-Seattle to a completely new direction and transform it. So in 2019, when I decided to become its CEO, I knew that I knew I needed the right skills, the tools, the right network, and that's what brought me to Penn NPL. I knew I needed to get a toolkit basically, and what better place to do it than Penn.
mhm.
So that's the full story why I ended up at Penn.
Wow. Yeah, thank you for sharing. That's such a beautiful story. And it sounds like you went through a really deep period of just self-discovery and like spiritual awakening, along with just connecting with your higher purpose. So that's really amazing.
Yeah, that's the Himalayas. Do that to you. And and I think what the beauty of the Penn NPL program was that it had that hybrid option, right? That was the
Hmm.
first year that the hybrid program was being launched, so I could still continue to, because there was no way I could remove myself from the community, because I live 60 to 70% of the time in at the program sites in India, and then the rest of the time in Seattle for fundraising and other work. Yeah, but so there was no way I could remove myself from the work, in India. So the hybrid definitely, was really, it really worked out well. So I think that was the key point.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that the program structure worked out well for you. And
Mm.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was actually wondering if there was a specific class or project within the program that you think has really played a special role in helping you grow or making an impact.
Yeah, it was. I think overall, the entire NPL coursework was designed so well, and it was tight, it was focused, but yet there was flexibility built into it. It was really, really remarkable, and you could continue doing your job that you were doing. It was just, yeah, it just worked out really magically well. So I think one to talk about one particular class, I would say it was Dr. Peter Frumkin's social entrepreneurship class. Um, Gosh, on so many levels, it was incredible. The course was intense.
Mhm.
It taught me how to speak and write in a businessy kind of language. It provided the tools that I could immediately start using, like creating a logic model and risk analyses and creating dashboards and scorecards and creating a business model and writing a pitch and delivering a pitch. Tools like this are just incredibly helpful for to learn and use them in your org. Also, it was in this class that we were presented with many case studies, and among them was Ubuntu Pathways, and Jacob Leaf, its CEO, then became my mentor for the practicum. He still is my mentor and go-to person. So it was through this class that not only did I gain the toolkits, but also I met my mentor, who changed my life. It was when I saw the case studies that Dr. Frumkin had collected and was part of our curriculum. I think those were just so helpful. I never knew that yeah, that my mentor was going to be found there, through, because I saw those case study videos. There was one that was just like, wow, the when Jacob was speaking, I was like, my gosh, that's exactly what I want to do, that
Mhm.
he was saying exactly what I had in my heart. And I was like, I think I found my mentor. So yeah, and he still is my go-to person, like I said, and my mentor. And it's been now what, almost 2 years since I graduated from the program, a year and a half. So I think that class that definitely made an impact.
Mhm. Wow. Yeah, Dr. Frumkin has been receiving a bit of love on our lives lately. So that
Mhm.
is, yeah, a notable trend for prospective students who might be watching. Take his class, learn from
Yeah,
him. He's the
great
director of
class.
the program, and he's
Hmm.
very, very amazing. Okay, great. Well, I was going to ask about how the program aspects inform your current work, which you already touched on a bit, talking about how the skills translated to Amrita-Seattle. Do you have anything that you want to add on that end? Or if not, we could move on. That's okay too.
I think, like I said, the courses were designed with a lot of thought, and it provided a full package. You basically have a toolkit for how to run your own nonprofit in the most effective way.
Mhm.
Uh, and I found an incredible mentor who is world famous and who still guides me on a regular basis. I think had it not been for Penn NPL, I would not have found him. Because transitioning from a field program coordinator at the grassroots level to the CEO was not easy. It wasn't easy emotionally. It wasn't easy physically as well. So the skills, tools, mentorship, networks that I gained through the Penn NPL program really sort of catapulted my march towards establishing my org's bold vision, which was to create a lifetime of support, an institution for children from elementary all the way till employment, so that they can truly break out of generational poverty. So yeah, the Penn NPL program really, just kind of really catapults your trajectory.
Hmm. Yeah, that is certainly one of our goals for students who maybe have experience in the nonprofit sector or
Mm-hmm.
even have a business background and are curious about how to elevate their leadership skills. Sometimes I jokingly call it the MBA program for nonprofit,
Mm-hmm.
which
Right.
which it kind of is.
It
So,
kind of is. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because you
Okay.
have to, you have to sort of start speaking in this businessy kind of language, and suddenly things are, it's a little different, right, from what you were doing, because you got to keep on doing your grassroots community development work, your actual work, but you also got to now add on this businessy cover, this MBA-ish
Mhm.
covery language, yeah, to your work, and that's yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Which is why a lot of our courses, aside from, figuring out how to increase the
Mhm.
level of engagement and community development, also
Mhm.
focus on law, finance, like
Yeah,
design, as you said.
yeah,
So
yeah. Oh yeah,
these
yeah.
are all really, really important aspects that I
Yeah,
think make the whole come
yeah,
together.
and I think the flexibility, like I was able to take courses from the social work program as well. I did the India course with TJ in Calcutta, which is where I'm from, and our org also works in out of Bengal in Calcutta, and we were actually in talk with the Durbar, the Sex Workers Collective, which is what the course focuses on. We parallelly were in communication with them too to build a learning center for the children of the sex workers, and because as their parents are at work, they needed a safe place to learn and sort of be, and thrive and help them with like school homework and all. So it just, it all just meshed in together, everything just played out really well. um, yeah, and I think I was also able to take quite a few Wharton courses. Then I think the timing also worked out really well, because what was the program called, the social entrepreneurship program, where you had 2 or 3 classes from Wharton, 2 or 3 classes from the SP2 department. A new program that was launched, I can't remember, I think it was like a certificate course, but it was jointly run by SP2 and Wharton, so that was really, really useful too. So the open SP2 courses are great. Even after you have sort of graduated, you're still part of the community and you're still learning.
Definitely, definitely. And once again, I'm glad you brought that up because obviously you are an integral part of this community. You're on the board of NPLAA, and you clearly made some powerful connections during your time at NPL. So moving to think about the cohort community and your peers, are there any ways that you can think of where the cohort community of NPL supported your growth?
Yeah, I we were all part of this first cohort of the hybrid NPL program.
Hmm.
It was quite intense. It was all consuming, especially since almost everybody in our class was juggling work and an Ivy League graduate program simultaneously. We were all located in different time zones, and I was often joining courses and meetings for class from India, like at 3 a.m. and you know, but it just never felt like difficult in a way. It just felt like, because everybody was in the same boat. We made sure that we built great rapport with each other, and supported each other to thrive in the program. We were always connected to each other through a WhatsApp group that we made. Always, we were always available for each other. And I think really we made great friends, all of us, and we're still in touch. And that was part of the reason why I wanted to stay connected to the community and join the NPL board, the Alumni Association board,
Hmm.
to
Yeah.
keep that connection, and yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Wow. All of that is really great to hear. And I feel like you are just a really great example of what someone can do when they just take all the program aspects and really run with it. So with that in mind, for any prospective students who are watching live or watching the replay, if you had to put yourself back in their shoes as a student who's considering applying, do you have any advice for these students and things that they should keep in mind?
Yeah, apply today for this program. Don't wait. It's
Mhm.
incredibly powerful program. You really will learn the skills and the knowledge to make an impact on the community in exactly the way you want to, and do community development the right way. Connect with Adam and your professors and Molly, as soon as you can, so that you can fully launch your Penn experience with the greatest trajectory. Everybody is really helpful, really supportive, and yeah, you're going to have a great time in the program. So apply today.
I love that message. Well, thank you so much, Sharmila. This is really
Sure.
great. And
Thanks.
for
Yeah,
everyone who's watching, I just want to remind you too that although the early deadline has passed, the priority deadline is February 1st. So you still have the rest of
that's
this
right.
month to get your application in. And if you submit it after February 1st, it's no longer guaranteed that it will be looked at. So we strongly recommend you do it at that time. As Sharmila just mentioned, feel free to reach out to Adam, Molly, Sarah, or myself if you have questions.
Now.
Yeah, right
Apply
now.
now. Yes, apply.
Yeah, yeah. And do you have any last words for everyone before we sign off?
Um, no, open the browser, and go to Penn and Field and apply and complete that application today. Don't wait. Get it done.
Yes,
Yeah, don't wait for
yes.
the weekend. Get it done. Yeah,
Hmm. Absolutely. The link should be in the description. And with that, thank you for tuning in, everyone. We hope you have a great weekend and a great month, which you will hopefully use to send in your application.
that's right. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thanks.